What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're here. We made it. We're back. 2025 NRL SuperCoach reveal time. As you can see, it's up on the screen. But as you can see from down below, guys, a little bit of a rebrand for the channel this year. Plan on doing a lot of content and making it a big 2025. Got some big goals set in place. So let's get into it. Team list Tuesday kind of threw me off a bit. I had a few players in here that just did not get picked. So let's run through. Some of these might change due to injuries or the next team list Tuesday. But NRL in Vegas, we're back. Hoping Eels get there next year and I'll be there and I'll be able to videotape it for you guys. But let's get into it. So SuperCoach this year has a new thing called Flex Player, which what I'm kind of understanding, and comment if you know exactly more information than I'm aware of, but apparently it's some sort of, you can flex them up and down and their points replace your lowest player's points, or if there's an injury and their points count towards. I'm not too sure. I'll do more research on it and we'll understand more over the next couple of weeks. But it's a good introduction for SuperCoach to bring in this year. But let's get into the actual team, guys. So flex player, I went with Jerome Luai. He's come out with some big comments saying how he watched every Tigers game in the preseason twice, and that if he played, they would have made the finals. He really stepped up in Nathan's absence when he was injured last year and got him pretty much into the finals for them to go on and win again. Come on, guys. Yes, I'm an Eels fan, and it hurts seeing Penrith win so much. But I expect him to have a massive year for the Tigers. I've actually moved from Penrith to the Tiger area, so I see a lot of the boys around and they look pretty confident this year. So we'll see what happens, but I'm expecting Jerome to have a pretty big season. So let's get into my fullback. Obviously, I had to go Iongi. Not just cheap, but he done. I'm so impressed with the way he played in the trial matches. I didn't really get to see the second trial match against the Tigers. I was on a boat, as you might have seen by my YouTube short, but I'm impressed at some of the try assists he did against Newcastle. I'm feeling pretty confident and pretty impressed with the fact that, yeah, Gutho's gone, and sorry Gutho, but this kid, I feel like, is the Eels' future, and we can build something big around him. His running meters, his strength, tackle breaks, try assists. I'm expecting some big try assists from him with that sweep play, just the pure speed he has. So, yeah, that was my tip. That's why I chose him. I feel like he'll get a lot of running meters as well on the kick returns because of just the pure speed he has, the pace coming back into the line, so he'll get a few extra meters than some of the other fullbacks. Wingers, for some reason, it's got Crichton. I don't know why it put Crichton there and not Ozako, but anyway, Stephen Crichton, I'm expecting him to have another big year. What he did for the Bulldogs last year was absolutely phenomenal, so we'll see what he has. I feel like getting that taste of finals for the Dogs last year has made the Dogs more hungry for this year. So big things coming for the Bulldogs fans and Stephen Crichton as their leader. But I feel like, yeah, he'll really step up again this year and get him to hopefully deeper into the finals. Stone Street, he really impressed me in the trial matches, what I've seen, and a few of the games he played last year. So that was my pick. I'm surprised at the price he was, 509,000. So pretty surprised he was that high, but let's see what he can do in Vegas on Sunday. So pretty excited to see those games as well. Hopefully get over there for Para next year. Fingers crossed if they're in it. Osako, no brainer here. Scores lots of tries, kicks lots of goals. This is purely just goal kicking and try scoring. There's nothing behind it. I always either have him or Garrick in there, so I'll put him this year. It's pretty much just a points grab, guys. That's my mind. I try when I build my team, I try and have as many goal kickers as possible for the extra points. Just a little tip out there. But yeah, nothing special about Osako. You saw him last year. He leading everything. He's always scoring tries and running meters and tackle breaks, and goal kicking is phenomenal. So let's see what he does this year. And no brainer there, Zach Lomax. He was in my team last year, pretty much captain as well. So I know what you're going to say. There's a lot of para players. I'm well aware that as a para fan, I put a lot of para players in my team. But to my defense, they were in my team last year when they didn't even play for para. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. But you can look at my reveals the last couple of years and you can see most of these players were in round one as well. So Zach Lomax had a phenomenal year last year. See what he does in the blue and gold at centre. I'm surprised. But him and Mitch have formed a pretty good combination, what I've heard at training. And I feel like, I think they're calling him Momax or something like that. But yeah, I think those two will pretty much be the dynamic duo that everyone is expecting them to be, what we saw for the Blues last year. I feel like with Lomax too, he'll get a few try assists as well with those little in and away and then draw and flick pass to the wingers. So, and plus added bonus, Mitch Moses has come out saying that Zach Lomax will be the goal kicker for Parramatta. So that's definitely an added bonus with his goal kicking. Moving right along to my 5'8" selection, it was a bit of a toss up between a couple. I really like the Warriors 5'8", but I went with obviously Matt Burton, Tamari Martin. Yeah, he's going to be phenomenal, and he done really well in the trials, but I feel like Matt Burton with his kicks, try assists, goal kicks, I feel like he'll be and I think Burton's kicking again. Maybe Crichton will take it over, I don't know, but we'll see round one next week what it comes out to be. But yeah, Matt Burton, kicking meters, try assists, tries, no brainer for me. I always put him in as my 5'8" to start the year. As you can see, yeah, Dylan Brown's on my bench, so I always have those two every year without fail. Brings me to my halfback now. Was going to go Cleary and do a few move around swapsies, but I feel like Mitch being the captain, I don't like the look of that red and white circle. He's fighting a foot injury. That's why he didn't play in the trials. But I feel like he'll be fit for round one. He'll push it. He spent a lot of time off last year, so he's in for a big year this year. He's high off the confidence of what he did last year for the Blues and what he did for Australia. And I feel like him and Lomax will take the Eels to another level. But yeah, I always have Mitch in my team. Everyone knows that. I might swap him out for Cleary after the first few rounds. Let's see how it pans out. But we'll see next Tuesday when that team list comes out, because I might have to do a quick short to let everyone know if I've swapped him out or not. But moving right along to my lock, I put Jermaine Hopgood, but it put him in second row and put Capewell in lock. But I'll go with Kurt Capewell. As everyone knows, he's an absolute workhorse. He scores a lot of tries as well. But yeah, it's just basically I like Kurt Capewell. I like what he did when he was at Penrith. I've liked what he done at Warriors. He scores a lot of tries for that position for the second row. Lock, for some reason, they put him lock in my team, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Kurt Capewell is in for a big year at the Warriors. I feel like the Warriors, they've. I was worried about without Sean Johnson, but watching them in the trials, they're out for a big year as well. I feel so. We'll see what happens. We'll see what my ladder predictor says later. So keep an eye out for that video. But second rowers, as you can see, Ruben Cotter and Jermaine Hopgood. Hopgood, no brainer. He under Riles. He obviously sat out summer last year. He didn't play in the Indigenous All Stars game, so he'll be fresh. I feel like he'll really, really push on this year. He's one of the leadership group as well for the Eels. I had him as my captain. At first, when they were talking about Eels selecting a new captain when Guffo left, I had him as the Eels' next captain. Big raps on him. I saw what he did for Panthers reserve grade. He captained them for the grand final, and seeing some of the things he done on the field the last couple of years, he's been at Para. He's really got that captain in him, so I pitted him as Eels' next captain. But obviously we went with Mitch, which I'm happy about as well. But yeah, I feel like coming into the season, I feel like Hopgood's going to be more of a leader, more of a captain this year with Mitch as well. So we'll see. But yeah, he's a freak. He's a workhorse. He'll get some big points this year, I feel. So let's see what he does. And Cotter, it was weird. I had Isaiah Papali'i in here, but then I found out he wasn't even in the starting side for the Panthers Vegas game, and then saw what Cotter did in that trial match. So obviously I had to put the swap in there. So I put Ruben Cotter. I feel like, yeah, after that trial match, he's looking fit, looking strong. So I'm ready for him to get some more points this year. Yeah, I'll see. Let's see what round one brings, guys. Let's move on. Front rowers. So Lindsay Collins. Front rowers are always my hardest to pick in SuperCoach. I was going to go Terrell May. I was going to go Junior Barlow. I always used to go RCG and Junior Barlow. Obviously Eels, but we saw what they did do. But this time I switched it up. I was tossing up Aiden Fanua-Blake, but I put Lindsay Collins and James Fisher-Harris. James Fisher-Harris for Warriors is going to be beast. Pretty happy with what he did in the trials. He did have limited game time, but so we'll see what goes on there. But I feel like he's in for a big year. He'll bring a bit of the Panthers form to the Warriors as well. So I feel like he'll really, really rack up some points this year, which he always does anyway. So we will see. Lindsay Collins, no brainer. Roosters aren't too good this year. I'm just saying, I don't know where they'll finish. You'll have to check out my top 8 ladder predictor, pretty much. I don't know. A lot of injuries, a lot of players left, but Lindsay Collins, workhorse, tackle. If he doesn't get sent off or binned, or I don't know. Lindsay Collins, sorry guys, I saw him in there. I knew he had a pretty good year. Scored a lot of tries last year as well. So I just threw him in there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see after round 1 how he goes. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. Sorry guys. Moving right along on that note, I'm not going to edit this out, guys. Just so you know, I might rave on, I might stutter, I'll get better as the year goes on. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video. It's been a while since I've done NRL. But yeah, I'm back, and I'm only going to get better, guys, so calm down. Brendan Hands. Obviously, I had to go Brendan Hands, my hooker. I feel like this year, seeing him in the trials, he even tried a 40-20, I think, in a trial, which I've never really seen him kick from dummy half that much before. I know he's a 5'8", but hookers, he's come out and he's said to a few of us that hookers know he's a hooker. So Handsy, if you're watching, please change your Instagram to Hands9, not 6. But yeah, well, he's a hooker. He finished off the year strong last year. I don't know how Riles is going to do the hooker rotation. I know that Mitch Moses is a massive fan of Hands and the service he gets delivered from that hooking role. So we'll see. We're stacked at hookers at the moment. So Riley Smith coming through. There's a few. I was gonna put Harry Grant, but obviously salary cap didn't permit it. A lot of people, I think, would have put Grant, Cleary, and someone else in there, and then filled in all cheapies. But I like to build a team through the first few rounds and put a few players in there that no one expects them to do much, and hopefully they surprise everyone. So let's go moving right along to the bench. Bench is strange for me. When I do benches, I try and get the cheapest of the cheap, except for the 4 players I use in the team. But I feel like this year there's a few shock inclusions. So starting right off, we'll go front to back this time. So we'll go bench hooker, Matt Arthur. Yes, ex-Eels player. I feel like if Jaden Brayley somehow gets injured or potentially mid-season transfer or whatever happens with Jaden Brayley, I feel like Matt Arthur will step into that role. There's a reason they got him. He was good for Eels. Always a big fan of Matt. I always had Matt Arthur as my backup hooker as well when he was at Eels, and he was not even talked about. He was like the cheapest of cheaps down the bottom. I put him in there because I had an inkling. I knew he might have debuted, so I threw him in there just in case. So Matt Arthur, I feel like will maybe come off the bench, or I don't know how they plan on using him, but I'll put him there. Front rowers, Wedemu Greg and Royce Hunt. No-brainers. Wedemu Greg, I feel like might actually be one of our starters. Round 1, depending on Junior. I think they'll go with Junior and Offa Hangawi, but I feel like Wedemu Greg, he's looking fit. If anyone's seen pictures of him at training and seen him in some of those trial matches, he's cut so much weight, looking fit. Riles is going to have him firing. Royce Hunt, no-brainer. Gone to the Tigers, fresh start, more game time. Absolute beast, so obviously he's my bench player to start with. Second row lock bench, Josh Schuster. Let's talk about Schuster. If he's fit, and seeing some of the pictures coming out of the Bunnies training and with Latrell, how fit they're looking, I feel like if Schuster comes on to absolute offload ball playing, chip and chase Josh Schuster, then we're in for a treat this year. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm just going to put it out there, Josh. Please focus on footy. Please get back to what we knew. I know you're an Eels fan. I know you come to Eels games. Not many people will see you, but I know you're there. But what he used to do was amazing, especially when he came up against Para. Like, that's pretty much his team growing up, I think. So he always, for some reason, turned in the Andrew Johns or Nathan Cleary against us. So let's see. Hopefully Schuster gets on the field. Hopefully he's back to his best. I know he went through all those dramas with Manly and stuff, but I feel like fresh start he'll be a different player, especially around players like Latrell and Cody Walker. And yeah, let's see what he does. So Maverick Geyer is my next selection. This was purely to the fact of he got a few good games last year, and I needed a bit of a fill in just in case. So I'm hoping in a couple of rounds he has a few games and get some points up there. Saw a few videos, heard a few things around that he's been training the house down as well. So hopefully he gets a spot. As you can see, is that suspended or injured or not playing? I forget what the little red circle is. It's been a while. It's been a long off season, guys. But let's get back into it. Matt Dury. No things about this. Matt Dury should have been playing a lot more first grade the last 2 years at Para. If you watch the Eels training, they got a new thing where it's like Tour de France, where they're all got different coloured jerseys and red polka dots and yellow and white and green, and their leaderboards and leaders at training, and no word of a lie, every training video or photo I've seen, Matt Dury's pretty much been in every colour and held the red and white top of the leaderboard several times. So Riles, he was the first one that re-signed when Riles come on board, and it was weird, they announced Joash Papali'i Iongi as signings and announced him re-signing. From what I'm hearing, Riles has big raps on him, so I'm expecting him to be named in round 1. So there might be a little swapsy with him and one of the other bench players, who knows. But yeah, that's why I chose Matt Dury, because I feel like he's been killing it in reserve grade. When he played in first grade the last couple of years for Para, whenever he's played, he's made line breaks, set up tries. Like he deserves more game time for the Eels, and he's worked extremely hard this off season, and I feel like Riles is a big fan of him, and he'll get more game time this year. So Matt Dury, nice cheap one in there for $232,000. Next one is my backup halfback, Katoa. He was very good last year for the Dolphins, and I expect nothing more this year. I feel like he'll really step up again. So we'll see what he does. If not, switch him out. But yeah, I had to put him in there. There was a lot of good ups and downs this year in SuperCoach. Like, there's a lot of players that I'm aware are on the brink of first grade that are really cheap at the moment, but I just felt like I had to go with Katoa. But yeah, we'll see what that team list produce, and as I said, I'll let you know if I swap him out, but chances are he'll stay. Dylan Brown. So we all saw the headlines. Dylan's in the paper all the time. Round 1's coming up. Let's put Para in the paper. Let's go Dylan Brown again. Every year, as Para fans, we expect nothing less. We sell papers, put it that way. But Dylan Brown wanting $1.2 million a season. Let's just say the last time we saw Dylan Brown have the season of his lifetime, he was looking for a contract. So after seeing that first game against Newcastle, his first touch of the ball, he pretty much took him on and scored a try from the scrum. I was like, Dylan's in for a big year. He's going to run the ball. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on him this year with all the contract talks and all the drama going on with his player option, and he's wanting to go to All Blacks and Warriors, and how many other clubs are chasing him at the moment. Newcastle Dragons, all giving him $13 million 10-year deals, and it's just chaotic. I don't know what Eels were thinking, but giving him, 8-year deal with player option every year, and I don't know what they were thinking back then, but obviously he had a big 2022 season, helped us get to the grand final. Him and Sean Lane paired up pretty good. I feel like all the talk around his contract, he's going to be looking for a new contract. So maybe we see him go to another level we've been waiting for the last couple of years since that contract negotiation was happening. So he'll be wanting to prove his price tag. So that's why I put him in again. I usually have him in there, but I feel like this year he's going to go again to another level. But time will tell with Dylan. Like, he's just so, you see him on the field, nothing phases him. He's so blasé, gets the ball, runs, goes over there, dances a bit to the music, blah blah blah. But big year, I think Riles will push him. I think he'll stay with Eels, to be honest. But I think the Eels sell papers. So, which brings me to my backup centre. I think that's the centre. I don't know. Backup back. However they do it these days with SuperCoach. Fletcher Sharp. Kid's amazing. Speed. Try scorer. I don't know if they're going to name him 5'8". He played all right there in the trials, so why wouldn't they? But yeah, I feel like he's a no-brainer. So I put him in there. I'm surprised. 636,000. Wow. I feel like he I don't know. Did his price go up from the trials, or I wasn't watching SuperCoach back then? Like, I just literally jumped on and went, SuperCoach time, team list Tuesday, but yeah, it wasn't to be because I've now got to wait next week. Josh Adokar, no-brainer. He was in my team last year when he played for Dogs. Yes, he's suspended for a couple of rounds, but the round he comes back, and it will be his first game for Para if he gets selected, which I feel like he will, is against the Dogs. So, no-brainer. Put him in there. Players always go to another level against their old club, so that's my mindset around it. That pick, there was other wingers there. I had Bailey Simonson there. I had Mulatalo. I had a few others, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give Josh a chance. The Fox. Let's see what he does. I think he's going to be, no matter where he plays, which wing he's going to be on at Para, he's either going to be getting flick passes from Will Penasini or flick passes to score from Zach Lomax. Like, it's a good option to have, Eels wingers. I feel like Eels wingers are going to score a lot of tries this year from pure flick, in and away flick passes from the centers, or Iongi sweep play, cutout balls, like no-look passes from Mitch. I feel like Para wingers are going to be up there in the try scoring. So, hence Josh Adokar and Tago. So, we'll see round one. I don't know if he'll go with Sean Russell, Tago. The options are plenty, but we'll see what Riles he does. I think he's going to go Tago, to be honest. But time will tell, but I put him in there. And finally, the backup fullback, Joash Papali'i. So, all of us Eels fans, we know Iongi is going to be the fullback. But then this kid named Joash that followed Parramatta, idolized Jared Hayne growing up, comes over from the Bulldogs, and we look at a training session and we're all Iongi, and then this kid gets the ball, and the step, the pace, the strength, watching him at training, it was like, well, maybe Iongi's not going to be the fullback, but I think Iongi will get it. Maybe Joash might come off the bench. He might get the wing spot. Who knows? But I'm excited as an Eels fan watching these two kids on a football field, put it that way. And the fact that they're both in our team is going to be ridiculous. And that's why I had to put both of them in my team, because of that pure reason. Both of these kids have got a big future, And what I'm seeing from highlights, from training videos, from just people I know that go to the training sessions, Eels fans should be excited for these two. So I had to put them in, and look how cheap both of them are. So they're only going to get bigger and better, and those price tags are going to go up. So later on, who knows? Might swap them around, might just keep them for the rest of the year. But I feel Joe Ash is probably going to be the 14. Don't know. Won't know until next Tuesday. So it's hard to do this video not knowing what next Tuesday's team list is going to be. But had to put it out before the Vegas. So yeah, let's see what happens, guys. But that's my team for round 1 2025. Finally here. SuperCoach team reveal. Stay tuned. My ladder predictions, round 1 tips, all my tipping videos are coming back. Game day stuff. I'm going to be doing stuff with the Paracave podcast, Troy, the Talking Para podcast, some of the other content creators around the NRL during the year. Big shout out to everyone from the Sports Shed TV charity match last week. Sorry I couldn't come. Obviously, would have loved to be there. Saw a lot of the highlights. Maybe next year I can get more involved in that, depending on how well my channel goes this year. But going to be a lot of content coming your way, guys. And yeah, that's my team. Comment who you'd change. We can maybe talk about some of my thoughts behind some of the stuff. I think I've pretty much covered everybody I've chose so far, and we'll see. And I'll do an updated video if I swap anyone out. But yeah, NRL's back. As you can see, I'm excited because I'm rambling. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for all the messages too, guys. I know a lot of my old watchers from my NRL content, I think 2 years ago, it got cut halfway through the year, and I stopped doing content and took some me time. Healthy, fit, gym every day, getting down. Let's have a big 2025 season, guys. And if you, no matter what team you follow, I wish you the best year ever. Obviously, I can't wish you all the best year ever because Para's going to have the best year ever. But yeah, let's get into it. And yeah, Vegas. Hopefully next year, Eels, Vegas. But yeah, all the people over in Vegas, so jealous right now. But yeah, Sunday's going to be a big day. And yeah, let's get into it and stay tuned for my ladder prediction and my round 1 tips, guys. So peace out, and like, subscribe. You know the rant. See ya.